When a new U.S. president takes office, they are often pressured to change the country's China policy. When Bill Clinton took office in 1993, he threatened economic sanctions and brought up human rights with China. But in his second term, the president sought to mend ties. He brought his family to China, touring the Great Wall and visiting the Terracotta Warriors. When George W. Bush took office in 2001, he followed a similar approach. During the early months of his administration, he took a hardline approach towards China, calling the country a strategic rival. But later in his second term, he made constant efforts to promote bilateral ties, bringing Sino-U.S. relations to a new height. President Obama followed a different path. He has called China a vital partner in tackling global issues, including the financial crisis and climate change. Obama labeled U.S.-China relations as important as any in the world.
When a new president comes into power, U.S.-China relations would first undergo deterioration, then there would be a recovery, and finally, further development. But Obama inherited a solid U.S.-China relation promoted by President Bush. I think that change reflects that China's increasing national strength weighs more heavily on U.S. strategic needs. It also reflects the Obama administration's Asia strategy, which means the U.S. will get more engaged in the region.
Obama's visit to China comes at a time when the two countries have marked the 30th anniversary of establishing diplomatic relations. In the past 3 decades, Sino-U.S. relations have witnessed many ups and downs, but never have the two nations been so closely connected than today. There are now more than 60 dialogue and cooperation platforms for the two sides to discuss important issues, including the strategic and economic dialogue. And despite the financial crisis, Sino-U.S. trade has maintained steady growth. The two countries are now each other's second largest trading partner. Former U.S. National Security Advisor Zbigniew Brzezinski believes China-U.S. relations has entered a new stage.
It is now, I think, accepted that America and China have to engage in a top-level dialogue on a regular basis, informally, and not just about economics, but also about global politics. And that is derived from the fact that China plays such an important role in world affairs today. This is not in any way to denigrate, to diminish the importance of our relationship with Europe or with Japan, but it is to suggest that China's own success creates a foundation for a serious, constructive, very important American-Chinese relationship.
But there are disputes between the two as well. Recently, the U.S. has imposed a series of punitive tariffs to stem the surge of imports of Chinese-made products. The moves have raised worries of trade protectionism. The disputes will cast a shadow over Obama's China visit.
I'll say it very frankly that there will be a number of issues on which we'll agree. There will be a number of issues on which we'll disagree. And this is perfectly normal and not a cause for concern, but is a necessary aspect of a serious and frank and constructive cooperative relationship.
Many worry about U.S.-China relations. They think it will be the opposite of the Clinton and Bush administrations. Be warm at the beginning, cool down, and then deteriorate during the end of Obama's term. So I think his visit serves as a kind of strategic insurance for the two.
Obama's first trip to China will give him the opportunity to use his physical presence to shape China-U.S. relations. Analysts say mutual trust is needed in settling various disputes. James Kim, CCTV.